let's just jump into this. So last week on the Artistic Biker, we did some faces and we had some fun with it. I really had a blast with it because I like to do that sort of thing. And I thought this week, since I'm an aspiring pinup artist anyway, I thought that I might do some pinup work. And so with that, let's just turn the page and get started. And I'm going to show you on this page. This was one of the pages I told you that there was a gap because I used too stiff of a ribbon going across there. Instead of just using ribbon, I used cardstock, and it was too stiff. It was inflexible, and so it just tore when I opened the page. So instead of replacing all of it, I just took a piece of mixed media paper and I just glued it in, and I did that between all of the signatures. So we're not painting on a file folder tonight. We're painting on a piece of mixed media paper, but I'm going to treat it just like I normally would. I'm going to go through the whole process and gesso it and everything like I normally would because I still want it waterproof. But so it's July 5th. We're recording this live. It's July 5th. And yesterday was fireworks all over the neighborhood. Hey, Pamela French. Pamela French just joined us in the chat. Yesterday was fireworks all over the neighborhood, so we were out until all flipping hours of the night. I don't do fireworks. I've never really been fond of fireworks. I know that's crazy, but I've never really been fond of fireworks. But I think they're pretty. You know, I've just never really been fond of loud noises. And it's gotten even worse as I've gotten older. That I don't really like the loud noises. And so, but I want the kids to be able to experience fireworks, right? And so this year I bought some fireworks and I gave them to the neighbor kids. Took them over. There's a single mother across the way, and I bought some fireworks and I took them over to her, and I said, "Hey, you guys have always let my kids shoot fireworks off with you for the last couple of years. I thought I'd donate to the cause this time," and so I brought them some fireworks, and they set them off, and my kids sat out there and enjoyed it with them, and everybody had a good time. But we were out there. I was out there until about 12:30 last night. And I woke up this morning at 4:45, which is about 15 minutes later than I normally wake up. And I couldn't figure out why I overslept. It was crazy. And I felt like crap because, I barely slept. But I didn't even set an alarm last night. I was so tired when I went to bed. Oh no, Pamela French's dad's been in the hospital. I'm glad you're back too, Ada Louise. Ada Louise says she's almost done with her physical therapy and almost ready to go home. I'm glad too. Pamela French says she has an easel, but it's just a sketch because her dad's been in the hospital. I hate to hear that, Pamela. I wonder if my mom's going to call in tonight. Let's text her real quick. I know that's exciting that you guys get to watch me do this. Well, you know what? Let's just call her. That's always fun. I should have wet these before I started. Let's do that now. Where's my spray bottle? These are just koi watercolors. They're a cool tone instead of a warm tone, as opposed to a warm tone.
Your call has been forwarded to an
she's not answering.
System 405.
That's all right. She'll either call in later or she won't. So I find that when I take my pan watercolors and I wet them before I start, then they soak up and they're really creamy when they work. I don't remember who I learned that tip from, but it's been a really handy tip. But yeah, out till all hours of the night last night, watching fireworks in the yard. It's not like we could go to bed anyway. I mean, you can only sleep so much with a bam all over. I mean, these neighbors are shooting off fireworks. Those neighbors are shooting off fireworks. The neighbors over there whom I bought the fireworks for, they're shooting off fireworks. My son was actually over at his good friend's house way over there, but we could hear their fireworks going off. This family down here was shooting off fireworks. There was a family down on the far end. We're in an unincorporated area of Texas, which means there's no city limits. We're outside the city limits. You know, the only government we have here is, I mean, it's a libertarian paradise because it's nothing but homeowners associations out here, and the police are all hired armed guards. Actually, I mean, they're all CLEAT certified police officers, but they're hired by the homeowners associations instead of being hired by the state or the city, because there's no city. Sheriffs come out here, but nobody comes out here for fireworks because there's no city ordinance that says you can't do it. So there's that. I'm just going to splash some colors down here. I want light colors over here and I want it to get dark over here. So I'm just going to splash some colors down to get a background. Let's see. Let's get a little bit of this blue. I love it when the watercolors are just messy. This is my take to figure drawing set. Because we gesso the page. Remember I told you the other day how it beads up when you don't use that absorbent ground? Well, that's kind of what we're dealing with here. But I like it because when it dries, it has circular pools in it. And I love that. And this set is a cool set, meaning that all the colors have a blue hue to them. So I may want to dry this as I go. Just because it's going to take so long to dry, and I don't want the colors to really mix on this. I have a design in my mind that I don't want the colors to mix on. So I want the colors dry. You know, it's funny, I said I wanted it darker on this side and lighter on that side, and it's working out to just the opposite. Bubble. There we go. '97. Pamela's dad is 97. She said he's back home, but at 97 he's not recovering as quickly as he used to. That's awesome. Not that he's hurt, but that you've gotten to spend so much time with him because he's 97. My dad turned 68 this year. I think that's right. No. My dad turned 70 this year. My mom turned 68 this year. I used to think that was old. I don't think that's all that old anymore. They tell you when you do watercolors that you're supposed to try to not get these hard lines over here. I love those hard lines. I think they add extreme character to your work. And we're going to cover most of them up anyway. I don't know if I should edit the hair drying out or if I should try to tell jokes or stories while the hair drying's going. I don't really know how well you can hear my voice while the hair drying's going. I'll tell you my American Independence Day joke. Why aren't there any American Independence Day knock-knock jokes? Because freedom rings. That's good enough for our work. It may shock you to find out that I am extremely American-centric. I know that comes as a shock to you, but I was raised a poor black child. No, I was raised in the country in the Southwest. I'm extremely American-centric. So let's see here. So, okay, it's no secret that I have been, that I'm an aspiring pinup artist. I mean, I did not bring my pinup notebook out here. That's crazy talk. I'm not going to go get it. But it's really no secret. I wonder if I can find, I probably can. Here, hang on a second. You guys can stare up my nose while I go to Facebook. And go to the Artistic Biker. And then let's change to screen capture. And we'll go to page. Ooh, the internet is slow. My computer is processing the interweb slow. You know what? I can probably go to photos. Let's go to photos. That's probably faster than trying to find. So it's like I said. It's no secret that I'm aspiring to be a pinup model, pinup artist, and I carry a little notebook around with me and draw pinups all the time. I don't have the book with me to show you, but here are some pages from it. So I thought tonight I would do just a little bit of pinup work in my journal. Where's another one? There's some more. See, I do the faces and then I do the pinup work on the side. And anyway, I thought that tonight I might do just a little pinup work in my journal and play with that for a little while. So I wanted to show you before we get too far into this, I wanted to show you this one tool that I use when I do oh goodness, it's not even on, is it? When I do gestures, I go to a figure drawing lab on Tuesday nights at Rick's Jennings lab over there in the Heights here in Houston, and it's fabulous. And oh my goodness, the model ice cream truck. Can you hear the ice cream truck? Can you hear the ice cream truck? The model this week, she was, oh my goodness, she was fabulously pretty. Oh, she was so pretty. She had just little cute elfish features, and she had the kinky hair like my wife, and she was curvy. Oh, she's pretty. And she was a fabulous model, taking very ambitious poses. So like the 10-minute poses, she's like doing funky stuff, dynamic stuff with her arms and stuff. And I'm like, okay, there's no way I could hold that pose for 10 minutes. But she did a fairly decent job. She, at 9 minutes and 30 seconds, she was like, I gotta stop. And he was like, well, you're close enough to stop. That's fine. But she was really a great model. Hang on. Yeah, that was right. Okay, so I'm going to show you this that I use for when I'm at home and I do figures. I use this website called Figurosity, and they're not paying me. I get no benefits from this. But hey, Figurosity, if you're looking to sponsor somebody, call me. If it ever comes up. There we go. But I think this is a great site. I think it's $30 a year I pay for this. You don't have to pay for it. You just can't get to the nudes if you don't pay for it. But I pay $30 a year, and it lets me choose which direction that I want, front, back, side to side. It lets me choose if I want them dressed, if I want them nude, if I want them muscle and smooth, down camera. Uh-oh, did I not log in? Ooh, it didn't log me in. Now I'm logged in. Okay, so we want nude. I don't really want dressed for this, but we could do dressed, we could do nude, we could do muscle, we could do smooth. You know what, let's do smooth for this demonstration. We'll leave the nude behind and we'll just do smooth for this demonstration. And I'm not going to do males, we'll do female, left and right. And go. And what it does is it presents you with a model like that. And it holds that pose for you. It shows that to you for 60 seconds. And you have 60 seconds to draw that pose, just like we did the faces last week. You don't have to do 60 seconds. You can set it for 10 minutes. You can set it for 2 minutes. You can set it for as long as you want. But it has some presets on there, and 60 seconds is one of the presets. And then it changes. And it lets you go, and it lets you do gestures. And so you can just, all you're trying to do is capture the moment. You don't want too much detail. You don't want too much information. You just want to capture the fluidity of the pose, right? And it's a really neat tool just to capture, just to get used to drawing like I said, gestures. It's a really neat tool just to get used to drawing the gestures. And it's called Figurosity. And it just lets you capture some really quick shapes. You know, if that's what you're after, it just lets you capture some really quick shapes, and it's really nice. Now I'll set it. I don't think it's set for 60 seconds. I think it's set for 30 seconds right now, just so that we could get a cool demonstration of what it does. Let's see, 15 seconds. These are 15-second gestures. So, but you can see the presets are 15, 30, 60. No, you can't see because it's too far away. The presets are 15, 30, 62, and 5 minutes. But it doesn't have to be that way, because after you've done it, you can come down here and you can see all the poses that you've done before. And if you see one that you really like if we really wanted to spend some time with, say, this pose, I can pull that pose back up. Interwebs. I can blow it up full screen, and I can pull that pose back up, and I can take as much time with it as I want. And here's the best feature: I can get 360 smooth, load them up, and then once they're loaded, I can turn it. I can turn that pose any direction I want to in that 360 pose. I can see it dressed, I can see it nude, I can see it muscular. Just the muscles. I can reverse it however I need to. There are men and there are women on here. They said that they're going to do a set with just heads, and they're going to do a set with just hands and feet. So I'm sticking with them because I think they're a pretty good program. And again, they're not sponsoring me. I just think they're really neat. But Figurosity, if you decide you want to sponsor some people, call me. Anyway, so that's what I do for daily practice. I'll do. Actually, I think I set those for 60 seconds. I do those in 60-second poses, and then I usually come back and watercolor them. I'm going use my water brush to pull the shading, just like I did with the faces last week. But tonight, I'm just going to do some quick pinup sketches. I'm just going to do a couple here in the book, because I can. We're not really going into the details of how to do a pinup sketch. Maybe we'll do some figure classes in the future. But for right now, I've got a photo reference on my screen. I'm not going to show you because I don't have copyright information on it. But this is the kind of practice that I do when I'm not at lab. Usually I'm sitting in a bar when I do it, though. And usually I limit myself to maximum 10 minutes on it. But tonight, we're just having some fun. Oh, I left Facebook up. Hang on a second. I gotta shut Facebook down because Facebook is really demanding on my bandwidth. Where was I? There's this, there's this, there's this, there's this. And then she is curvy. You can't see how curvy she is, but she's really curvy. I like curvy girls. What? Sorry. I took the place that I go for figure drawing lab. He had a workshop on how to do hands, and really the thing that I learned more than anything else is that I need to practice. I am way out of whack on hands, and I just need to practice it. So there's that. You know what? I don't want to use that brush. I'm going to use this brush. Okay, Ada Louise, have a good night. Ada Louise had to leave us. She's got a nurse coming in a few minutes. Probably didn't want the nurse to see her watching me draw pinups. But you know, I got to thinking about it. You know, the whole reason I ever got interested in art in the first place was because of like Varga in Playboy, and even that little the Femlin from the Playboy from the Playboy jokes page. She's called a Femlin. That was the whole reason I got interested in art in the first place, was because of stuff like that. That was my very first artistic love, if you will. Right or wrong. Right or wrong, that's what interested me in art in the first place. And I've tried to do all kinds of other things. I don't really like doing landscapes. I don't really like doing I don't know. Landscapes bore me. Puppies are interesting, I guess. I've got a little indigo going over here to get some shading on this. We're not too worried about it, because like I said, it's just a little quick fun thing. Just having some quick fun here in the journal. Playing a little bit. Coming back in here with some dark colors for the shadows. come in. One of the few times I'll use black is black clothing. Needs to be blacker than that though. Alright. Now I'm going to kind of subdue the rest of this. While that's doing what it does, I'm going to come back through here. Let's try a little sepia and yellow. See if that'll subdue it enough for me. Or better yet, let's see if we can't define her skin a little better. I don't know if that helped or not. This is why you let watercolors dry before you go on. Mud. That's mud. Spray bottle. Can't tuck. I know, it's kind of better before I did all that. Doesn't matter, it's a background. Okay, let me dry this real quick. Hi, Carol. Carol, you came in just in time. You caught us. You caught us arting a little pinup work. Nothing too Nothing too provocative, I don't think. I'm trying to keep it just a little tame. Trying to keep it mostly tame because I don't want YouTube to say that it's not family friendly. That would be a shame. Because then people wouldn't be able to see it. YouTube would not share it if it was not family friendly. You really can't use a line brush to just paint. It doesn't really work. It's really only good for making lines. That's okay. Like I was saying earlier, I took a workshop on how to draw hands. I really just need to practice that. You can take all the classes you want, but it really just boils down to practice. If you're not practicing, you can't get better. Right? Practice makes proficient. I like that phrase. Practice makes proficient. One little strand coming down through there. It's always got to be one little strand coming down through there, right? Now I could. How are we doing on time? It's already 7:15. Goodness. This is one I sketched out earlier. Hey, Pensacola. She has a bird growing out of her chest. Does she? A bird head? Growing out of her chest? Awesome. Here's one I sketched earlier, and I thought that I may or may not do this. Let me cut it out real quick. When you draw something on typing paper, which is what all this really is, when you draw something, or whenever I draw something on typing paper, if I want to try and save it, use it in my book, whatever, I hit it with a little matte clear coat, front and back. That way, when I glue it in, it doesn't become transparent. When I paint on it, it doesn't become transparent. Can't talk using scissors. My son's been at the pool all day, or else he'd be out here with me. He prepped a mini card to work on tonight, but he didn't paint it. So he was I know he was hoping to paint it tonight, but like I said, he's mostly exhausted from having been at the pool all day. And turkeys, they do stuff like go to the pool while I'm at work and then send me pictures. So I don't know if I want to. Can I zoom in a bit? How's that? Is that better? Camera needs to come this way, just a touch. There we go. A crow. Look in the monitor to see it. Oh, you mean this? Her outfit? Oh yeah, I guess it could be that. Creepy. So like I said, I drew this one earlier. I don't know if I want to color it in or not, but basically I just drew it on typing paper with an ink pen. And then I had this Krylon matte finish. Yeah, the whole black garment turns into a crow. I see it. But I hit it with this matte finish. That way if I want to color on it or whatever, it won't have any sheen to it, so it won't make the colors beat up. But it kind of plastic coats the paper so that the paper won't shred when I try to glue it in. I don't know. I don't know if I want to glue that in there or not. I think that might be a nice contrast. Let's do that. Use a little matte Mod Podge. Because we can. Mod Podge is tricky down here in Houston. You have to be really careful because the humidity's so high that it'll re-wet. It takes longer to dry than you think it does. It takes longer to dry than you think it does, and the next thing you know, you shut your book and you're gluing things together. Plus, it's sticky when it dries, which is why I like to use the matte Mod Podge instead of the gloss Mod Podge. But you have to say it that way. No matter how you do it, you have to call it Mod Podge. Someone's at the door.
Yellow.
Mr. McFeely. We were just talking about you.
Who's Mr. McFeely?
Who's Mr. McFeely? Oh my goodness. He was the mailman on Mr. Rogers. He would come to Mr. Rogers' door while Mr. Rogers was doing his show.
Can I start painting?
Are you ready to start painting on your card?
Yeah.
I was just telling them I thought you were tired from being at the pool all day. I told them that you had a card prepared to paint.
Oh. Okay.
Are you going to paint it?
Yes.
Okay. There's your acrylics.
I need to get my paint brushes. I can tell them they're mine because the sponge thingies are purple. I mean, they're orange. Where are mine?
It also stops the ink from
Yeah.
running when I put the web media on it, when I plastic coat it like that. But see how it stopped the paper from shredding? But it is matte finish. Let me dry that real quick. There's my dad. Grandpa said, "Hey, Junior." So, I'm going to just highlight this. Almost all the pinups I paint are redheads. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but
You've also painted a brown head.
no,
Yes.
I'm making stuff up.
How? I saw you paint one. Actually draw one. And then actually color it. That was not good. You also painted my mom.
I did paint your mom, but we're not showing that picture to anybody. Yeah, Carol says, I wonder why. Because all the girls that I paint in my book are redheads. I wonder why. Is dinner ready? Alright, so now, you're going to get me in trouble. Are you trying to get me in trouble?
No. I'm just arguing.
Can't talk. Writing. I'm going to. Not with that brush. Not this one. I want this one. I want big strokes. Make sure that she really stands out from that background too. Here we go, me painting with my left hand. Everybody hold your tongue just right. This is something that
you've never done.
This is something that before I started arting on a regular basis, I could not do. My left hand was just a club used to hold stuff still so that my right hand could act upon it.
Same for me.
But the more I find myself arting, the more useful I find my left hand to be. Matter of fact, there's a challenge around, I don't know, I think it's in April sometime, where you're supposed to do a page with your left hand, with your non-dominant hand. And we may do that next year. We'll do the whole page with just my left hand. Just because it's a fun challenge to do. Alright, I think that's probably all I want to do to this. I think that I may want to change the color of her bathing suit so that it doesn't look so much like a crow. You can't tell. You can't tell.
And I think I'm done.
Okay, let me dry this. I did gesso the paper, Carol. I'll recap here in just a second.
I got this one drying afternoon.
What?
I'm done.
Okay. Why don't you go eat? If you're done, why don't you go eat? It'll dry before you get back. Can't talk. Drying. The excitement of watching paint dry. So you're not supposed to, they tell you you're not supposed to let these hard lines on your paper, but I just love them. I just think they're just cool when the watercolor dries like that. I just really like the effect. So I thought about some quotes for tonight. Let's see. Johnny Carson said that when turkeys make love, they imagine swans. They think about swans. I thought, now that's a funny quote. And then, what was the other one that was funny? Girls, it's better for girls to be pretty than smart because boys typically see better than they think. I thought that was pretty funny. pretty sexist though, but pretty funny. Maybe funny because it's sexist. But the one that I went with, with the choice between two evils, a man will choose the prettiest. It's funny because it's wrong. I need that to dry. There we go. So then I can come back with my pen. I think I said something about taking a handwriting course. I bought some handwriting books. I haven't really practiced in the last couple of days though. I need to, obviously, because my handwriting is horrid. Horrid. Can't talk, Harding. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Sorry. I don't really understand that song, Jolene. Honestly, there's somebody could take my wife from me, they have to keep her. Because I don't think it'd be very easy to take my wife from me. Don't take my man just because you can. Shoot if you can, take him. Get him out of here. I need none of that nonsense. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Okay, so quick rundown of what we did. The book's made of file folders, but because I didn't use ribbon to hold to back the signatures, and I used cardstock instead, it was too stiff, and so it tore apart when I opened it up. So I went back between the signatures and I added mixed media paper and glued it in just between the signatures. Well, that's where we are today. So the paper we're actually on today is not file folder, it's actually mixed media paper. But that really doesn't make any difference because of the way we treated it. We went ahead and we sealed it with gesso, actually primer, but to me it's the same stuff. And so we sealed it with primer to keep the water from soaking through it. And then we hit it with some watercolor splashes so that we could get a background. And then I sketched out a pinup model over here with her bathing suit that looks more like a crow's head than a bathing suit. And then earlier I had already sketched a pinup model on typing paper, and I sealed the typing paper front and back with some matte finish so that it wouldn't tear when I got it wet. And then I glued it into the book. And then I just hit it with some highlights. And so that's all we did tonight. And so with a choice between two evils, a man will choose the prettiest. I don't remember who said that. Let me see who said that. Hang on a minute. I have to look it back up. I have this book, The 2,548 Best Things Anybody Ever Said. It was on the discount rack at Barnes & Noble. And I'm a sucker for stuff like that. Let's see, I think it was 2033. Maybe. Is that right? I'll let you know in a second. Yeah, and it says unknown. So when confronted with two evils, a man will always choose the prettier. Unknown. So that's what we did, and that's tonight's page. What I haven't shown you is because Mod Podge and I hit these pages. I usually hit these pages with a clear coat when I'm done with them, and so I will. Where's my wax? I will come back after I'm done with the page. I'll hit it with clear coat, and then when the clear coat cures, I come back with wax, and the wax lets me keep the pages from sticking together. So we can come back here, like see this one starting to stick together? Actually that's sticking together because of the spilled gesso on it. But that one's sticking together because of the paint. So I can hit that with some wax. Make sure your watercolors don't get wax on them. Hit that with some wax, wipe the wax off, wax on, wax off. And I find that is enough to keep my Mod Podge and my clear coat from sticking together. That way I don't have to worry about the pages tearing when I turn to the next page. You want to make sure you have actually clear coated it though, because if it's just watercolor, this will get the watercolor, we'll start wiping the watercolor all over the place, like that just did. So you have to be careful with it. And then I have not clear coated this one yet. Everybody put your masks on. Yeah, that's right. Too humid in Houston, acrylic will always stick if not treated. So everybody put your mask on because you want to make sure that you're wearing a mask when you use spray paints, especially indoors, because the spray paints, the fumes will make you high and damage your lungs. So you want to make sure that you're always wearing a mask when you do that. But okay, so guys, that is it. That is the page tonight. So thank you so much for joining me. You know that I look forward to this every week when it's my favorite time of the week when I get to art with my besties. Be sure and tune in next week. Hey, and let me know in the comments below if what kind of stuff you'd like to see. If you'd like to see more fine art stuff, if you'd like to see more instructional stuff, if you'd like to see more glue stuff in. I don't do a whole lot of glue stuff in. Oh, easels, that's right. Phone. Where's my phone? There's my phone. My dad's watching because he's commenting. He said hello to Carol. George Manning's my dad there in the chat room. But my mom didn't call in. I wonder where my mom is. So let's see what the easels are. I painted a sunset. I did a sunset mini this week. And maybe we'll do one of those. Maybe we'll do a mini next week. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if that's what you want. Carol thinks my dad doesn't know I'm a nut. Carol, let me just tell you, freaks don't fall far from the circus. Just so you know. I mean, I'm just saying. He takes after my side of the family. See what I mean? Okay, so how many images are there? Are there 2 images or just 1? Okay, so here's Pamela's sketch that she did. Ah! And then, let's see, eventually I'm going to get it set up. Are there 2 on this? Eventually I'm going to get it set up so that I can pull it up on my computer and show you. And then there's Pamela's dad eating dinner. He's got to love that you're sharing pictures of him eating dinner. He looks good for 97, Pamela. He's doing pretty good. He looks like he's doing good for 97. If he's not going to eat all that tapioca, though, I'd like to have some of it. Anyway, guys, again, thank you so much. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see more figure work, more fine art stuff. I'm just having a good time. Be sure and tune in next week. I think we will prep and do a mini card next week because that's fun too. Be sure and tune in next week. Same Artistic Biker time, same Artistic Biker channel. And then we dance. And we dance until somebody is kind enough to tell me that they see me dancing because this lets me run the credits. Well, actually, it doesn't. I don't run credits, but it lets me know that the lag is caught up and that somebody has seen he doesn't share his pudding. Well, that's not very nice. I guess at 97 he doesn't have to share his pudding. I wouldn't share my pudding if it was my pudding. I love pudding. Da, 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 da. I hope this recorded live because I did not record it locally. Oh my goodness.